Hey guys, Street Stance Silver Garage. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It's free. You can unsubscribe at any time, but please subscribe whether you like our enduro races or our hot challenges or my how-to videos.
That is on.
Or me just building this 1,000 horsepower Civic right here that I'm standing in the engine bay of. Remember, at 1,000 subscribers, I'll be getting pepper sprayed and tased at the same time. So please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. And let's get on with today's video. What is up, YouTube? We're back again with hopefully one of the final few episodes on this car. Final few videos to get this thing running. So we got our new stage 5 clutch here. We got the motor over here all ready to go to get the flywheel clutch, pressure plate, and we got the new transmission, well, the original transmission completely fully rebuilt, not fully built, but carbon synchros, new shift sleeves, bearings, and all the goodies. We have a new alternator and belt. We have two oil changes. We got the break-in oil and an oil change for it. Cap, rotor button, plugs, wires are on their way. So we got a few things. We got to put some vacuum off our old intake onto here. So we'll get that done. We'll get the alternator on. We're going to get everything on this car. We got our manifold back from the fab shop, so we'll see if this fits. If not, we'll have to change it a little bit. It's no big deal. But we're going to go ahead and try to get this thing ready to go in and hopefully get it in the car today. So stay tuned and we'll get this thing going. All right, guys, we got our clutch on, pressure plate, throwout bearing is on, transmission already. We got a new pilot bearing in there. Put the new rotor button on. The cap is actually kind of weird. It fits, but the bolts don't line up, but everything else works. It's weird. So I'm gonna have to go see if they got a new one. If not, I'll have to use my old one. We got the oil and oil filter in. We got our new plugs in. Like I said, we're waiting on wires. So right now we're gonna grab the transmission. We're gonna bolt the transmission up and try to get this thing ready to go in the car today. I'll set you guys here. And see if I can get this thing on by myself. One in there. And I think I'm out here. Okay. Okay guys, transmission's on. Got a few more bolts to put in it, but we're gonna go ahead and get the starter in it. And we still have to get the alternator on it. So we'll get a starter in it, we'll get the alternator on it, get the belt on it, and we should be ready to go ahead and try to drop this in the car to see if everything will work, which it should work. All right, guys, it's the next day. I stayed up and got some more stuff done on the car. So we got the starter on. I did get the alternator on, but the belt was too long. And the reasoning why it was too long is because the new pulley, if you can see it back there, it's kind of daylight's messing with the camera here, but the pulley here is way smaller than the factory pulley. So, well, the factory harmonic balancer, this back pulley is how big the alternator belt was to versus now, which is just barely a little bit bigger than the alternator. So I got it loose here. So when I get, the belt's supposed to be in today, so as soon as the belt gets here, we're gonna go get it and get it put on. And then we were looking at some stuff here, and this is the alternator connection. Well, they had it all taped up, and all I did was untape it, and two of the wires just fell right out. So there's the two that fell out. Like I said, a very poor job, but we're gonna solder the wires together, shrink tube them, and have it all correct and fixed. Then I think we're ready to pick this thing up and put it in the car. We can get everything hooked up. We still have to wire in our injectors. So once we get the motor in, we still got a lot of little things to fix and do. I got to solder all those wires in. So it's going to take a little while to get it to be able to run, but we're going to get it to run. But we have to take it to the fab shop before we can actually start it, because we are getting rid of the exhaust on the car. Everything's going to come out, you know, through the hood or out the bumper. I don't know if I'm going to take it out the bumper or just bring it right through the hood, but we're still debating on that. So I'm going to get the wires soldered in, then we're going to get this motor picked up and put in. And I got the new 500 horsepower bushings for the Hasport mounts, and I just cleaned them up a little bit. So we got all new bushings for them. We're going to put all the bushings in, and we will be able to put this motor in and at least get it bolted up. And our axles and everything are on the way, so as soon as they get here, we'll be able to put them in. Like I said, we're still a little ways. I think tomorrow or the next day, the fluid for the transmission is going to be here, so we don't have no fluid for the transmission right now. So there's just little things that we still have to button up on the car before we can ever start this thing. But it will happen. At least by the end of the week, we will have this car running. And I got to take it to the fab shop. Hopefully, it probably take a couple weeks, because I got to take it to get the exhaust pipe and the intercooler piping and stuff welded up on here, because we're going to be using V-band flanges on everything. So no more silicone couplers on the car. So we're really upgrading this car a lot from where it was when we bought the car. It's got pretty much a fully built motor for 500 horsepower. It's got a not a fully built transmission, but a built carbon synchros, brand new bearings, seals, shift sleeves, all the snap rings, everything in the transmission is new. Diff bearings, everything. So we pretty much have a brand new transmission. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to get these soldered in. I'll show you what them things look like, and then we'll get this thing hooked up and put in the car.